We are reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. We're on Chapter 7. Amy learns a sour lesson. I hate being in debt, Amy said. In debt? What do you mean? Meg asked. Amy explained that the girls at school were giving out limes at recess. If one girl liked another girl, she gave her a lime. Amy had been given many, but didn't have any limes to share in return. How much money do you need? Asked Meg, taking out her purse. A quarter would more than do it. Meg handed her the money. Oh, thank you. I've had a grand feast, for I haven't tasted a lime this week. Next day, a rumor went around school that Amy March had 24 delicious limes and was going to treat her friends. Amy became quite the show-off as she displayed her wealth of limes. Jenny Snow was a young lady who had picked on Amy for not having limes before. Now she wanted to be friends again, but Amy had not forgotten the way Jenny had treated her. She said, You needn't be so polite all of a sudden. You won't get any limes from me. See, she's telling her. This made Jenny very angry. She quickly informed Mr. Davis, the teacher, that Amy had limes on her desk. Now, Mr. Davis had announced that no limes were to be given in the classroom. He had promised to use his ruler on the first person to break the rules. Miss March, come here. Bring with you the limes you have in your desk. Amy took out the limes and laid them before Mr. Davis. Now take these disgusting things and throw them out the window. Amy was red with shame and anger. She went to and fro 6 dreadful times. As she returned from her last trip, Mr. Davis said, I am sorry this has happened, but I never allow my rules to be broken. Miss March, hold out your hand. Too proud to cry or beg, Amy threw back her hands bravely. She did not flinch as several tingling blows landed on her little palm. They did not hurt, but that made no difference. For the first time in her life, she had been struck. The disgrace was as deep as if it had knocked her down. You will now stand on the platform till recess, said Mr. Davis. And see, she had to go stand up there, because she did something she wasn't supposed to. During the 15 minutes that followed, the proud and sensitive little girl suffered a shame and pain which she never forgot. During the 12 years of her life, she had been governed by love alone. Though both her hand and her heart ached, it was more painful to think of home. She thought, they will be so disappointed in me. She was in a sad state when she got home. Her family did their best to comfort her, but Amy insisted that she would never return to school. Well, you can have a vacation, but I want you to study a little every day with Beth, said Mrs. March. That's good. It's terrible to think of those lovely limes, sighed Amy. I am not sorry you lost them. You broke the rules and deserved some punishment, said Mrs. March. But I do not agree with Mr. David's method. Are you glad I was disgraced before the whole school? Cried Amy. You are getting to be rather conceited, my dear. It's time you tried to correct it, replied her mother. You have a good many little gifts, but there is no need of showing them off. Amy was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, Is Laurie a talented boy? Yes. He has had an excellent education, and he has much talent, replied her mother. And he isn't stuck up, is he? Asked Amy. Not in the least. That is why he is so charming, and we all like him so much. I see. It's nice to have talents and be elegant, but it's not nice to show off, Amy said thoughtfully. Any more than it's proper to wear all your bonnets and gowns and ribbons at once. just so folks may know you've got them," added Joe. And the lesson ended in a laugh.